Hey guys, I know that intro might have been a little slow. Just wanted to show you one of the things I learned about setting up an emergency shelter or just a tarp tent at the Pathfinder school. I'll do some later videos on some of the knots that I learned, like the Prusik loop, the Prusik knot, and also the trucker hitch. And I'd already used a trucker hitch before. I've used those a lot, so I'll share that with you on a different video. But I wanted to show you how easy that is to actually set up and put into place. And I wasn't really hurrying. In fact, on the one Prusik loop, I'll show you on the video when I show you the knots, but I actually put the knot in the loop, and you don't want to do that because you can't pull it taut. But I thought I'd show that to you real quick. Now, I had a lot of people, after I posted on my Facebook page the pictures of my certification for the basic Pathfinder class, and I got a lot of feedback on what I learned and what I now carry in my kit. So I thought I'd share that with you. Don't go anywhere. It's a beautiful day out. The sun's out, and I'm on high ground. It feels like it's probably low 40s, but with the sun out, it feels really nice. And I'm up high, close to a water source, and it's just a beautiful day to be out here getting some dirt time. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is my kit, and this is applicable for me anyways, at least for 90 to 95% of everything that I'm going to be doing. A lot of my activities, camping is a big one, bushcrafting, hiking, just going on a day hike or an overnight hike. This can also be used as a 72-hour emergency kit, which I could leave in my vehicle. And hunting. Fishing, probably not real conducive to fishing. There's some items here I probably would not take so that I could actually put gear for fishing in my bag. A couple things that I've already put in place, which you already saw. This is about 25 to 27 feet of paracord. I have 5 tent stakes, plastic ones. They're very lightweight, and that's just a Prusik loop with a Prusik knot. And then over here is a trucker's hitch, which allows me to get these stakes really tight. This is just a 5x7 emergency blanket, and it has a reflective coating on the other side. This is handy because you can use this in the summer and the winter. In the winter, you want the reflective side towards you. In the summer, you want the reflective side out, and it'll actually reflect the UV rays and keep the shade area there underneath really cool. After the Pathfinder school, I learned quickly that the 30 pounds of gear that I used to carry just really doesn't make a lot of sense. And there was a lot of things in there that were what-if types of gear, gadgets, gizmos, and we all fall prey to it. It doesn't matter if you've been doing this 2 years or 25 years. We see that new gadget and we got to have it, and then we find out we're right back to the basics. So some things that I do a little differently from the Pathfinder class with the kit. One is I will always carry a blue tarp. I use that as ground cover. You could use it as a tent. You can use it to gather wood with. If you in a pinch, you could actually gather water with it if you had to, if you got pretty fancy with the paracord. I did add some additional grommets on this blue tarp. These are those cheap tarps you buy at Kmart or Menards or Walmart. And the grommet holes aren't really spaced evenly. They go like every 3 foot all the way around, so sometimes you don't even get a grommet in the corner. But very inexpensive, and I always keep one of those. That's usually the top thing on my pack. I can also use it as a rain cover, as a poncho, and that's usually the first thing I lay down so that I can put all my gear on this and keep it off the ground and keep it dry. So going from left to right, another thing that I'm always going to carry, this is a 30-liter dry bag. I'm always going to keep one of those. That can be used also as a kneeling pad if you're trying to start your fire. Again, you can gather water with it. I use this a lot to gather all my kindling to start a fire with. It's lightweight, easy to carry. You want a durable one. Don't get the cheap ones at Walmart. This is, if a 30 liter you're paying $10 for it, it's not the right one. You're gonna have to spend probably 20, 30 bucks for a really heavy duty one. Another thing that's in here is this is just another dry bag. This is a Summit dry bag, and I'm trying to do this one-handed, so you have to forgive me. What I'm going to do here is just get that open, and I'll just dump it out. It'll make it a lot easier. So in this dry bag, inside I have a 4mm poly, and that is just basically a painter's tarp. They're like $2, and I will use that to create a super shelter if I need it, if it gets really cold out. I have jute twine in there. I'm always going to have plenty of that. That is excellent bird nest material. I have another, what I call tent rig. This is another 25 foot of paracord with the Presic loops already made, which I use for my ridge line on my tarp. So I have an extra one of those. Number 36 bank line. You can never carry enough of that. I have in here my compass, and then I have 2 washcloths, which I will use for making char cloth with. This is excellent char cloth material. It doesn't fall apart, and you hit just one single spark on it, it's going to take off like crazy. I have just a cheap 25-cent poncho. This is what I refer to as my junk drawer, and in here I have, this is just an Altoids 10. This is a little different again from the Pathfinder school. I'm always going to have Advil, Imodium AD. I do have a small band-aid in there, a couple small moleskin band-aids for blisters, a file, lip balm. I have a couple of these blanket needles. These are very inexpensive needles. You can use those to pin up your wool blanket around you to keep you warm. I have also in here, this is how I keep all my sail needles. Just I pinch off the end of a straw, melt it, and then just a piece of duct tape. So that keeps those needles in there, you know, so I don't lose them or stick my finger on one of them. Okay, blades, that seems to be the big thing. My number one blade, which is what I keep on my side, and I'm sure you guys have seen this already, but if you haven't, I do have a review of my belt kit, but that's going to be the knife by my side. It's a Jeff White bush knife. I also have a Mora clipper, and I love this knife for food prep and also feather sticks. You cannot make better feather sticks than that knife. That thing is just excellent. Just a $13 Collins axe. Got that at Ace Hardware. I think that was all of 13 bucks. So, and then I have an Azula 2 neck knife, and that's my backup to my backup. A lot of people ask me why I carry 3 blades. That's not a full tang knife, but I do really like it. It's very inexpensive, and I really like this little Azula knife, and so it doesn't weigh much, so I keep it in my pack. The next thing is Gorilla Tape. I won't go into all the uses. There's a million different uses for that. A wool blanket. Now that is a $9 Menards special. It is an 80-20 blend, 80% wool, 20% polyester. That is good down to about freezing. Beyond freezing, it's not going to do much, excuse me, unless you have a fire going, a really good fire. Okay, this is my char tin, which I am probably going to have to set this down. I do apologize, because I've burnt this thing so many times. It's kind of hard to open. So bear with me here. While I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and open this as well, so I don't have to set the video down again. Alright, sorry about that, guys. So in here I have a magnifying glass, I have another ferro rod, more jute twine, I have a bird's nest that I've already made, and then I have char cloth in there as well. So that's what I keep in my fire kit right there. And I also have another kit that's on my belt, which is that, and again, go to the Bushcraft belt kit for that video. In here I just keep some fat wood and a survival emergency bivvy. In that little bag here, I won't open it, but in there it's just basically food. I have some rice, ramen noodles, coffee, hot chocolate, a good pair of leather gloves. Those are Wells Lamont, very inexpensive, but those things work really well. I have a Shimag, and then I have a 40-ounce clean canteen with the GSI cup. Now, a lot of people complain about that system because it rattles, but if you just simply throw a rubber band around the bottom of it, it'll keep it from rattling. Another thing that I have in the pack is I just have a Write in the Rain notebook, and then I also have just a carpenter's pencil. So the pack is a Duluth Scout pack, and yes, this all fits in there very comfortably. I weighed this before I left the house today. This entire kit comes in at 24 pounds. So this, I could easily sustain myself for 3 days, very easily. And what I mean by that is I have enough food and water for 3 days, and beyond that, my comfort level would dissipate only because of lack of food, and I would probably have to find some way to purify water, whether it's boiling or filtering with a cotton bandana. So hopefully this helps out, guys. This works excellent for me. I'm glad I went to the Pathfinder basic class because it really taught me about my kit, and I actually shed probably 8 to 9 pounds out of my current setup by going to this. So get out there, have fun. Any comments, concerns, questions? You think I have too much? If you don't think I have enough or something I might be missing, please let me know. This is Jeff with the Common Sense Camper, camping out.